Okay, welcome to the new year, Tuesday, 4th of January 2011. It's my first video for the new year. Hope your trading's going well. Just before I put up my day trades for today, just want to put up a reminder to myself and to anyone using the better indicators. You always need to look at the highest time frame tip bar chart in order to determine your trend and changes in trend, and that's the 4500 tip bar chart. This is my normal setup, the 500, 1500, 4500 tip bar chart here. And in determining trend, the most important thing is to see professional blue bars at significant turning points. This is Tuesday's activity. This is the open on Tuesday, vertical red dotted line. This is Monday's activity from this vertical red dotted line here, Monday, Tuesday, and this was kind of the overnight session on this Sunday night. And you could see the previous week we'd kind of put in this little low here with the professional blue bars kind of coming in at the lows, signaling a good kind of place for the market to take off to Monday's kind of strong trending move. And this move was not over until we saw those professional blue bars coming back into the market here. You can see right at the highs, coming up to midday, we had bearish divergence signals all the way up here, and these whole series of kind of volume distribution patterns kind of coming into those highs up at 1272. And then today's activity, we had a little bit of a bounce from these kind of lows. Again, professional blue bars kind of coming in at the lows here, buying those lows. They were kind of selling at this end of trend warning signal here, and now just gone 10, which is coming up to 10:30 in the morning on Tuesday, and you can see these blue professional bars have come back in at around a cyclical turning point on the 4500 tip bar chart. So we could potentially get a change of trend here. But the key point is, I'm looking at my three indicators, my price signals using better sine wave, my volume signals using better momentum, and the average trade size using better pro-am. And you need the combination of those three to signal changes in trend. So we were kind of overbought when we'd broken above cyclical resistance level here. End of trend up at 1270 here was this 70-72 level kind of signaled a top in the marketplace. Got all of these blue professional bars and the bearish divergence signals, so you need price, average trade size, and buying and selling volume to kind of signal non-confirming indicators, non-correlated indicators kind of come together. And for me, the most important one is the professional bars to signal what the professionals are doing. So just we'll see how this day ends up, but the professionals are kind of coming back in here at the 62 type level today. So let's see how this kind of turns out. Don't forget to look at this highest time frame for trend and for the professional blue bars. Okay, Tuesday, 4th of January 2011, and back in the swing of things, just gone short at 1268 even. Overnight we had a little bit of a rally back up to the 1270 kind of level here, and we formed an end of trend warning signal here on the 4500 tip bar chart. So if I just show you this chart, a little bit kind of compressed here. Yesterday we kind of topped out at about 72, and you can see all these blue professional bars at the highs. We'd had our exhaustion buying, we had all this kind of bearish divergence signals rolling over, and all these kind of distribution patterns coming into this high at 72. So then overnight we kind of, or at the end of yesterday, we kind of formed a bottom, which was a pullback and an uptrend. We now had this kind of rally overnight, and we've come back up to test 1270, and we formed an end of trend warning signal here. You can see on the kind of lower time frames on the 1500 tip bar chart, we've got all these kind of blue professional bars at the beginning, at the open, just before the open, and at the open at 1270. So this isn't kind of strictly an icebreaker trade, because I usually wait for a clear kind of professional blue bar after the open. So ones that happen on the open, which is this kind of vertical red line, or the the very first bar after that, I usually kind of ignore that. But what we're doing at the moment is we're breaking through support on the 500 tip bar chart, and I'd like this to kind of break into a downtrend move. We've got kind of the cyclical flow on the 4500 tip bar chart in our favor. If this end of trend kind of warning signal cyclical turn here is kind of good, so it'd be nice if this kind of got a little bit of downside momentum, but it's early in the day, and we're not expecting kind of big trending moves right off the bat. So short at 68 even. Let's see where this goes. Okay, just out at 66 for 2 points. The reason for getting out at kind of a little bit early in this kind of trade is we've had professional blue bars kind of come in with exhaustion selling on the 500 tip bar chart, and that for me just shows a little bit of exhaustion. So we've got kind of professionals here on the 500 and 1500 tip bar chart here. All this kind of exhaustion selling at that point suggests that we'll have just a little bit of a bounce. Don't think the downtrend is kind of over at this point by any means, but you know, good to just get 2 points under my belt as a first trade today, and then wait for a re-entry to go short, which will probably be the next cyclical turn on the 500 tip bar chart. Pull back hopefully in a downtrend type of signal. So let's hope for that in the next few minutes. Okay, now just gone long at 12.66 even. The reason for this is we haven't had our kind of a pullback and a downtrend signal yet. We've had we kind of broke through to 65, and you can see all these kind of blue professional bars kind of came in on the 500 tip bar chart with some exhaustion selling here, and we also had another blue professional bar on the 1500 tip bar chart kind of down here. This is looking a little bit like it's going to end up being kind of a bullish divergent signal here, cyclical turning point, a couple of blue bars down here. So we're going to get a little bit of a rally to the cyclical turning point that we get on the 500 tip bar chart most likely. And this is kind of coinciding with the cyclical turn, a low being put on the 4500 tip bar chart. So once we get that kind of pattern, the pullback and the end of trend on the 500 coinciding with 45, then the trend direction could well change. But all I'm playing at the moment is a little bit of a bounce from this kind of oversold level down here, with the professionals kind of coming in and exhaustion selling on the downside. Not looking for much, maybe a point or so, but yeah, let's see. Okay, just a couple of minutes later, we've just had this the pullback and end of trend kind of sequence happen on the 500 tip bar chart. Was a little early to be going kind of long in this downtrend when I went long at 66, but you know, still happy to hold this. This little kind of sequence down was happened very quickly, but you can see it's almost like a spike down with the professionals here, come into our end of trend warning signal here with bullish divergence and so on. And we've now had bullish divergence on the 1500 tip bar chart, and we've overshot our cyclical low here, but we're being caught effectively by the cyclical turn on the 4500 tip bar chart and bullish divergence here. So strength kind of coming back into the market here. So took a little bit of heat on the downside early, not terribly good kind of trade. And funnily enough, you know, if I'd been holding for my short at 68, you know, I'd have been up another kind of 1.5 on the 2 points that I made earlier on. So, you know, retrospect, that would have been kind of a better trade. But anyway, it was still holding at 66 long. Okay, I'm just short at 65.5, and the reason for getting out of this long trade from 12.66 is really not going my way. I've sat through quite a lot of heat on this, although, you know, we had a number of kind of bullish signals kind of coming in at these lows here, all this kind of bullish divergence, and we should be caught by a cyclical turning point here on the 4500 tip bar chart, but it's just not looking good here. And this last raise moved back up to 66 when my entry. You can see all of these Rambo patterns here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row here, all these kind of amateur bars kind of coming into this turning point here, and we're kind of coming back to a cyclical support level that looks like it's turning into resistance, and so we're kind of moving to the downside. So my best guess is that the downtrend is kind of still in place. We've not had enough kind of professional bars kind of come in at the lows in order to signal the end of this move. So not a good trade on my long at 66, but at least I've been able to salvage a little bit, get out with only a half-point loss, and yeah, so hopefully we'll kind of break to new lows and be able to get out of this short trade at a profit. Okay, just a couple of minutes later, and you can probably hear the sound of boiling water in the background, so apologies for that, but something on the chart kind of gives me a little bit of kind of confidence in this downtrend. You can see here this kind of testing back up to support that becomes resistance here is being led by the amateur bars, kind of here into this little up tick here, and then the 500 tip bar chart, you've got all these Rambo patterns here, cyclical turning point and so on. But what was quite nice on the 500 tip bar chart, we just came into a retest of this kind of turning point, and we had professional blue bar up at the highs here with a bearish divergence signal here, and that, as soon as we kind of break the lows by quarter point, half point or so on, kind of gives me some confidence that the professionals were active at this point here, kind of getting short again. And so once the move kind of goes back towards 64, that kind of shows that we're in a continuation of this downswing. So fingers crossed does this one work out to be a good trade. Okay, a few minutes later, the trade's kind of gone nicely in our favor. I've got a profit target at 63 even at the moment, but I'm not sure whether I'm going to just increase that a little bit. The last kind of sequence that we've had here, we just had kind of some up bars, professional up bars at this point here. You can see this cyclical support levels turned into resistance. The market kind of head back down. We're making a little bit of a double bottom here. I think the previous low was 63.50 back here, and we kind of just breached that a little bit to 63 and a quarter just on this last move down. And if we broke below kind of cyclical support on the 4500 tip bar chart, we could get a really kind of swift move to the downside. But don't want to get greedy, and we have got on the longer time frames, a cyclical low kind of coming in. I'll just show that on 13,500 tip bar chart. We've got a cyclical turning point likely to print here. Anyway, keep watching this, and let's see what happens next. Okay, out at 62 even. The reason for getting out now is we've now had blue professional bars kind of come in on the 500 and 1500 tip bar chart here. We've got exhaustion selling on the downside on the 500 tip bar chart here, cyclical turning point kind of coming in here. So we're likely to see a little bit of a bounce. Oh, there's professional blue bar on the 4500 tip bar chart, just noticed that as well. So good kind of place to get out. I increased the original target from 63 to 62 just because we were coming through this cyclical support level here, and there were no kind of blue professional bars kind of coming in. So just squeaked out another extra point on that. So that's me done for the day. The first trade was okay. It was a 2-point winner. The second trade I had was really poor trade. Entered far too early and was trading really against the trend. Sat through a lot of heat, and frankly I was lucky to get out with only a half-point loss on that trade. But this last kind of entry short was a good one, kind of playing off this cyclical turning point, all those kind of amateur up bars up here, and those were Rambo patterns on the 500 tip bar chart. So that was kind of a nice entry short, and rode it through here, a little bit of kind of garbage on the downside, and got out with a nice trade there. So I'm happy, and hope your Emini trading went well today.